Backstories Podcast.
All right, let's dive in. Today we're exploring the world of Erykah Badu.
The queen of neo-soul.
Exactly. And we've got excerpts from her Wikipedia page to guide us.
It's a great place to start, really get a sense of her career.
Yeah, but we're going deeper than that.
Oh, absolutely. Unearthing those fascinating details.
The stuff that makes her such a captivating and influential figure, you know.
I think what's so remarkable about Badu is that her artistry, it's not just about the music.
Right.
It's intertwined with her identity, her life choices, everything.
It's like her whole being is a work of art.
Exactly.
And that's evident right from the start.
Oh, for sure.
Born Erykah Wright, she chose the name Erykah Badu at 14.
Wow, 14.
Yeah, and it was a deliberate move. She believed her given name was a slave name.
Powerful.
Can you tell us a little more about the meaning behind the name she chose?
Absolutely. Ka, she explained, represents the inner self.
Okay, the core essence.
Yes, exactly. And then Badu, that's really interesting.
How so?
Well, it has a couple of meanings. It's a term from the Akan culture, signifying the 10th born child.
Wow, I didn't know that.
But it was also her favorite jazz scat sound.
Oh, wow.
Which, speaks to her early connection to music and improvisation.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So by combining these elements, she created this name that's both personal and rooted in her heritage.
Wow, so from a young age, she was already curating her image.
Absolutely.
Sending a message about who she was and what she stood for.
Exactly. And this intentionality, it extended to her artistic development too.
Oh, how so?
Well, think about this. She was performing by the age of 4.
No way.
Yeah, honing her skills at the Dallas Theater Center, the Black Academy of Arts and Letters.
Imagine that, singing and dancing on stage at 4 years old.
I know. And by 14, she was freestyling on local radio.
Wow, showcasing her lyrical prowess, that ability to command an audience.
Exactly. Clearly, she had this natural talent.
Right, but she was also incredibly driven.
Oh, for sure.
Dedicated to her craft. It wasn't just a hobby, it was a calling.
Absolutely. And while she initially pursued theater at Grambling State University, she made the decision to leave, to fully commit to her music.
It's a bold move, isn't it?
Oh, for sure. And this wasn't a path of privilege either.
What do you mean?
Well, she worked multiple jobs to make ends meet, teaching drama and dance, all while collaborating with her cousin Robert Free Bradford on their demo, Country Cousins.
I see. So this hustle and grind, it's an important part of her story.
Oh, excellent.
Highlighting her resilience, her unwavering pursuit of her dreams.
Couldn't agree more.
And it was that demo that would ultimately change her life.
Yeah, Country Cousins caught the attention of Kedar Massenberg.
Who's that?
He was a pivotal figure in her journey. He recognized her raw talent.
He was like her champion.
Exactly. He paired her with D'Angelo for a duet, Your Precious Love.
Oh, wow, I love that song.
Me too. This collaboration not only showcased her vocal abilities,
but
also introduced her to a wider audience.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Massenberg's belief in her led to her signing with Universal Records.
So he was instrumental in her getting that record deal.
Oh, absolutely. That set the stage for her meteoric rise.
And then came Baduizm.
Her groundbreaking debut album in 1997.
It was a cultural phenomenon.
Absolutely.
Debuting at number 2 on the Billboard charts.
Wow.
It solidified her position as a leading force in the neo-soul movement.
Baduizm was a breath of fresh air. It was such a departure from the prevailing trends in R&B at the time.
Interesting. What do you mean?
It wasn't just about catchy hooks and slick production.
Right.
It had depth, substance, this incredible blend of jazz, soul, and hip-hop influences.
That's what makes it so unique.
Critics were quick to compare her vocal style to Billie Holiday.
Oh, wow. Really?
But it wasn't just the timbre of her voice. It was her phrasing, the way she bent notes, her masterful use of melisma.
So she could convey a whole range of emotion.
Exactly.
There was a rawness and vulnerability in her delivery.
Definitely, and that resonated with listeners.
And on, that first single, Instant Classic.
I know, right?
It became an anthem.
Yeah, it did.
And it earned her first 2 Grammy Awards.
Wow.
Best Female R&B Vocal Performance and Best R&B Album.
That's incredible.
It's important to remember the cultural context of that time,
Oh, for sure.
Hip-hop was evolving.
Absolutely.
Becoming more introspective, more socially conscious.
Right.
And then here comes Erykah Badu.
With this sound that was both familiar and completely new.
Yeah.
Speaking to a generation that was searching for something more.
Yeah.
More than just party anthems.
Right, something deeper.
Exactly.
And she didn't rest on her laurels.
Oh, no, not at all.
She was actually pregnant with her son, 7, while recording her first live album.
Wow. Live.
Which was released right around the time he was born.
That's amazing.
Like a powerful statement,
Yeah.
embracing motherhood while continuing to create and share her music.
That album went double platinum. It hit number 4 on the Billboard 200.
It captured her energy as a live performer, the way she connects with her audience,
Oh, yeah.
and the improvisation that was such a key element of her shows.
For sure. And then, of course, there were those incredible collaborations.
So many. Like her work with the Roots on You Got Me,
Oh, yeah, classic.
that brought her into the world of hip-hop.
In a way that felt so organic and authentic.
It really did.
You Got Me was like a masterpiece of storytelling.
I love that song.
It blended Badu's soulful vocals with the Roots' signature sound.
It was a perfect example of how she can move between genres.
Right, while staying true to her artistic vision.
And let's not forget her collaboration with Common on Love of My Life,
Yeah.
an ode to hip-hop.
Oh, yeah.
That song topped the charts
It did. It was huge.
and earned them another Grammy.
Well deserved.
It seemed like everything she touched turned to gold.
But what's even more remarkable is that she wasn't afraid to experiment.
You're right.
Evolve her sound with each subsequent album.
Yeah, she was constantly pushing boundaries.
And that's where we'll pick up in the next part of our deep dive.
I can't wait.
We'll explore the artistic evolution of Erykah Badu
From the introspective depths of Mama's Gun,
to the sonic explorations of the New America album.
it's going to be fascinating.
I think so too.
Stay tuned.
We'll be right back.
We were talking about how Badu wasn't afraid to take risks and experiment with her sound.
Yeah, and you can really hear that in her second studio album, Mama's Gun.
Okay.
It's different from Baduizm.
In what way?
It's got a raw, more organic feel, you know.
Interesting.
And the themes, they're really personal.
Like what?
Personal growth, heartbreak, social consciousness, that kind of stuff.
I mean, the early 2000s were a pretty intense time, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
After 9/11, the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq, there was so much uncertainty.
Yeah, people were questioning everything.
But Mama's Gun captures that energy, you know.
How?
It grapples with those anxieties that search for meaning amidst the chaos.
Like in Bag Lady?
Exactly. It's not just about romantic baggage, it's deeper than that.
Right, it's about the weight of history, those burdens we carry.
Both as individuals and as a society.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's a reminder that Badu's music is multi-layered. Makes you think.
Absolutely.
Then, 3 years later, she drops Worldwide Underground.
And it was a totally different vibe.
It was all about the groove, that energy of a live jam session.
Like a direct connection to her hip-hop roots.
Exactly. Free-flowing structure, emphasis on rhythm and improvisation.
I love that.
Badu herself said it was designed to be one continuous groove.
Like a DJ said.
Yeah. It shows her deep connection to hip-hop culture, that willingness to push boundaries.
It's an album you have to experience as a whole, a sonic journey.
And then we come to the New America albums.
Oh yeah, those are really different.
A real turning point in her career,
In what way?
both in terms of her sound and the lyrical content.
Yeah, they were really deep.
Part 1, Fourth World War, which came out in 2008, was much more electronic.
I remember that, yeah.
It had funk, soul, even psychedelic rock in there.
It was like a whole new direction.
And thematically, it was heavy, dealing with socio-political issues.
Technology, war, the state of American society.
It was a bold project, challenging listeners to really think critically.
I could see that.
And then just 2 years later, she releases New America Part 2, Return of the Ankh.
Which was a bit of a shift, right?
Back to a more analog sound, yeah.
And the focus was on love, relationships, personal introspection.
Exactly. It was more inward-looking than Part 1,
I like that.
exploring the complexities of human connection, you know?
It's amazing how she can create these distinct sonic worlds
Right.
while still maintaining her signature style.
Each album is like a chapter in her evolution as an artist.
Throughout it all, she's never shied away from pushing boundaries.
In her music, her visuals, everything.
We can't talk about Erykah Badu without talking about the Windows seat video.
Oh, definitely not.
That was a major moment.
It sparked a whole national conversation about art, censorship, freedom of expression.
It's really controversial.
So the video was filmed in Dealey Plaza.
The site of JFK's assassination.
Badu's walking down the street, slowly taking off her clothes,
Until she's completely nude.
at the exact spot where Kennedy was shot.
And then, as she falls to the ground, you hear a gunshot.
Powerful imagery, right?
It was definitely provocative.
Some people saw it as a statement against conformity.
Like she was shedding layers. both literally and metaphorically.
But others were outraged,
They thought it was disrespectful.
to history, to the trauma of the assassination.
It's interesting how she used her body as a canvas, a tool to challenge perceptions.
To start a dialogue.
Badu herself said it was a protest against groupthink.
That idea that we just blindly follow the crowd without questioning anything.
She was inspired by Matt and Kim's Lessons Learned video.
Where they stripped down in Times Square.
Right. But it wasn't just a symbolic act. It had consequences.
Oh, absolutely.
She was charged with disorderly conduct,
She pleaded not guilty.
but ended up paying a fine and serving probation.
The controversy just shows how powerful art can be. It provokes, it challenges, it disrupts.
It makes us confront uncomfortable questions.
About artistic freedom, decency, the legacy of history.
And Badu never backed down. She stood by her vision.
No regrets, she said.
It actually strengthened her resolve as an artist.
But Badu's creative energy, it goes beyond music.
Oh yeah, she's a talented actress too.
She's been in films like Blues Brothers 2000, The Cider House Rules, House of D.
She seems drawn to projects that align with her values, her desire to tell stories that matter.
Her acting shows her versatility, her ability to embody different characters.
And let's not forget her impact on fashion.
Oh, she's a style icon.
Those head wraps.
They're her signature look.
But they're more than just a fashion statement,
They represent her cultural pride, her connection to her heritage, her individuality.
She's been the face of Tom Ford's white patchouli fragrance, Givenchy Spring 2014 collection.
She moves seamlessly between music, film, fashion.
But she's also a passionate advocate for social justice.
Apps.
She founded the BLIND charity,
Which helps inner city youth.
She's using her platform to raise awareness, inspire action.
Her activism is an extension of her art.
She's not just entertaining, she's amplifying the voices of the marginalized.
Challenging systems of oppression.
And then there's her entrepreneurial spirit,
Badu World Market.
where she sells everything: clothing, jewelry, even cannabis products.
She's building her own empire on her own terms.
It's inspiring to see her leveraging her brand to create opportunities.
For herself and her community.
Through all of these different ventures, it's clear she's driven by a deep sense of purpose.
A desire to make a meaningful impact.
And she does it all while being a mother.
She's had high-profile relationships with Andre 3000, Common, J Electronica.
She has 3 children: Seven, Puma, and Mars.
She's open about the challenges and joys of balancing motherhood and her career.
And she's always exploring her own identity.
She traced her ancestry back to Cameroon through DNA testing.
It's all part of her ongoing journey of self-discovery.
We've covered so much ground here. Music, activism, fashion, entrepreneurship, motherhood.
It's incredible how multifaceted she is.
And we haven't even touched on her influence on spirituality and the New Age movement.
Oh, that's right. It's hard to fit it all in.
Her influence is vast.
It's like she's constantly evolving, revealing new dimensions of herself.
So let's shift gears a bit.
Okay.
What is it about Erykah Badu that makes her such an icon?
Yeah, what makes her so enduring? It really is amazing to consider just how much impact she's had,
On music, culture, spirituality even.
Yeah, a lot to unpack.
Well, and to your point about what makes her such an icon, I think what's really fascinating is how Badu's career kind of exemplifies the evolution of soul music itself.
Oh, interesting. How so?
Well, she blends those classic influences with contemporary sounds.
Okay.
And pushes the genre forward without losing its essence,
I see what you mean. It's both timeless and innovative.
Right, exactly.
Like drawing from that rich history of soul while also incorporating jazz, hip-hop.
Even electronic music, yeah.
That's not just the sound.
No, definitely.
Her lyrics, they're poetic, they make you think.
And she's not afraid to tackle complex issues.
Social, political, all of it.
It's that willingness to challenge norms, to
Yeah.
spark conversations.
Yeah.
That's what elevates her from just a musician to a cultural icon.
Right, she's not just singing about love and heartbreak.
Exactly.
She's engaging with the world, encouraging us to think critically about our own lives.
About the systems that shape our society, all of it.
And she does it with such style.
It's grace.
She's a true original, a visionary.
Who's paved the way for so many other artists?
Think about Solange, Janelle Monáe, SEA.
All of them, yeah.
They've all cited Badu as an influence.
And you can see it in their work.
It's that fearlessness, that commitment to authenticity.
It resonates with so many people.
She's never been afraid to be herself.
To express her truth, even when it's controversial.
And that's what makes her so inspiring.
Yeah, totally.
She's a reminder that it's okay to be different, to challenge the status quo.
To use your art to make a difference.
And the crazy thing is, she's still going strong.
Who knows what she'll do next?
Another album, a film. Maybe she'll expand her business.
The possibilities are endless.
Well, I, for one, am excited to see what the future holds for her.
Me too.
And if this deep dive has piqued your curiosity,
yeah,
I encourage you to go explore her world further.
Listen to her music, check out her acting roles, browse her store,
Yeah, immerse yourself in her work.
Erykah Badu is a force of nature, a creative powerhouse.
She continues to inspire and challenge us.
She's a testament to the power of art to transform lives.
To push culture forward.
For sure.
Thanks for joining us on this journey into the captivating world of Erykah Badu.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time, keep diving deep.
Backstories Podcast.